This is Gooberton Gooworth, the third second junior, captain of the United Federation of Planet Starship, Enrique Iglesias. I am here to find the Emperor of the Nine Realms, or random girl, and I will kill everybody in here, unless I get them. You dig, babies? Welcome to the Kombat AllStar show, brought to you by the one, the only Quantum Visual Effects, or Quantum VFX, making the impossible possible. As always, I'm your host, Kombat AllStar, and today we have an awesome show for you this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning, or whenever you're watching the Kombat AllStar show. Let's get right into it, shall we? Going to be talking about in movies, Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition. Lots to talk about there. Going to kind of delve into that when we get there, though. We're going to be talking about, in video games, Kombat Pack 3. Now, this is going to be very important because not what you typically think I'm going to be talking about a possible DLC, but there's some more news I'm going to kind of dive into, and that's going to be pretty good. And then we're going to be talking, in comic book section, Captain Marvel vs. Wonder Woman. And there's a reason why we're going to be talking about those two, but we'll get into that as well. And also, in Random Zone, last but not least, we're going to talk about the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. Did talk about it earlier in the Atomic Cast, like about a month ago, but there's more news that has since been released, and I'm going to give my opinion on it. Mighty Morphin Kombat AllStar. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's talk comic books!
In comic books, we're going to be talking about the two leading females in comic book history at the current time, I should say. We're on one side, we got Wonder Woman, and on the other side, we got Captain Marvel. Now, I know you might be saying, Kombat, why in the heck are we talking about Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel? Well, I'll tell you why, my friends over there in YouTube land. We're talking about them because both of them have major movies coming up, and both of them have some major roles in their current comic book reincarnation. So let's get into it. I mean, we all know about DC Comics Rebirth. We know that Wonder Woman is getting her story kind of rewrote. Everything that we know about her apparently is a lie. She's kind of rediscovering who she is, where she came from. In the New 52, it was all about, she was made out of clay, such to the original. And then, not in the new, before the New 52, she was made out of clay. She was sculpted by Hippolyta, her mother, and then she was, breathed life by the gods, right? And then in the New 52, we found out that she's actually Zeus's daughter. So she's always been a god, and she has her place on Mount Olympus, and then she ends up being the god of war for a little bit, and well, I guess she still is the god of war. But she's been having a lot of changes, and between those two stories, I feel like they were almost one universe, different universes, and now DC Rebirth is kind of having her self-aware of both origins and trying to find out who she really is, where she really comes from. Not going to spoil it, go pick those up. And then you have, on the Marvel side, Civil War 2. And front and center is Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers is almost playing a Captain America-like person to Tony Stark. There's a lot of things going on with Spider-Man. Again, not going to spoil that for you. It's pretty fantastic. I didn't think it would be, but it's a good read. And now you know that Wonder Woman, they've wrapped on Wonder Woman. The movie's coming out next year. Captain Marvel has been announced, but I believe they're still writing the script and still looking to cast the role. So those two heavy hitters, I mean, Wonder Woman's been an icon, a staple in comic book history forever. Comic books started with DC. I'm not sure if you guys know your history. The first superhero comic book was Superman, and DC started that genre. They were the first comic book as we know it to be published. So Superman being first, Batman being second, and Wonder Woman being their third hero. So Wonder Woman's a big deal. She's got a lot of credibility. She's a person that a lot of people look up to, a lot of women look up to. Back in the 70s, the 70s, Her magazine printed up Wonder Woman on their cover. She was kind of their role model, their mascot for their movement. So Wonder Woman's played a lot of really important parts in our history, and as far as comic books and in real life. So that's just amazing. And then you have Carol Danvers, who has kind of been, just kind of on the back burner. She's been Miss Marvel. Rogue took her powers, put her in a coma. She came back out, was Miss Marvel for a little bit, and then she tried to transition from Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel. So there's been a lot of changes with her as well. But DC Marvel really hasn't had a strong woman hero at all. I mean, the strongest women they got are X-Men, and they're pathetic. Jean Grey faints every time she uses her powers. Storm acts like she can't control the weather half the time. I mean, I'm sure this stuff has changed, but there has never been any definitive strong woman that can hang with the males in the Marvel Universe. And since they've relaunched Captain Marvel, issue number 1, I'd say it feels like only a couple months ago, but I know it's been about a year. Within a year, they launched issue number 1. So they're kind of rebuilding her and positioning her as their Wonder Woman of the Marvel Universe, which is great. I mean, it's good that they should do that. If you're really into Marvel and you're a woman, it'd be good to have somebody like that you can kind of relate to, look up to, and say, yeah, this one can hang with the boys. Or even if you're a guy, saying, okay, not all of them are pathetic now. At least we got one that can hang with the guys. Although with DC, pretty much all the women can hang with the guys. They just have been well written for so many years. But the most famous one, the predominant one, the one that's been around the longest, Wonder Woman. So those two, okay? You got Carol Danvers, you got Marvel, Captain Marvel, and you got Diana Prince, you got Wonder Woman on the other side. And they both kind of stand for the same thing, but for their respective brands. And I kind of wanted to pit them against each other and talk about them because everyone knows I'm a DC guy, right? Everyone knows that. If you're a long-time listener, a long-time watcher, you know that I am a DC guy. So my opinion is going to be very biased, I should say. And Wonder Woman is the queen. She is awesome. She is the woman. You know what I mean? There's nobody better. Nobody can come close. Often imitated, never duplicated, just like all the other Quantum VFX channels out there on YouTube. She is the original, and she is the best in my eyes. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Carol Danvers is better than Wonder Woman? Are you looking forward to seeing her movie more than Wonder Woman's movie? Are you looking forward to? Have you been reading the comics? Are you more interested in Captain Marvel than Wonder Woman? I want to know what you guys think, because in a time of 2006 and how things are going with political correctness, and people are getting more freedom to express themselves. At times, ever changing. Ain't a He-Man world back in the day where the big man with the sword hops on the line and takes care of business. Although I love those days, and they will be in a special place in my heart. Women have also taken center stage, and this is the beginning of a movement. Wonder Woman will be the first superhero movie that has a woman as the lead. So, very big deal. Captain Marvel will be the second, so this is history making. What do you guys think? Who is better in your eyes, Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel? What camp do you sit on, DC or Marvel? I'm curious. What do you guys think about the movies? What do you guys think about Gal Gadot reprising her role as Wonder Woman in the new Wonder Woman movie coming out next year? Do you think she was the right fit? Did you think she fits the mold? There's a big responsibility to play a Wonder Woman, or to play a Carol Danvers. This is a big, huge deal. So what do you guys think? Weigh in, comment below, and let me know who you think is better. What are you looking forward to? Do you think that Gal Gadot is good for this role, even though she's killed it in Batman vs Superman, in my opinion? And I was one of the people that really did not want her to play this role. I want to know what you think about her performance, and who do you think would be a good Captain Marvel? Comment below, let me know. I want your thoughts.
Let's talk movies!
So in movies, we're going to be talking about Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition, because it rocks my socks, and I know it'll rock yours too. So basically, it came out not too long ago, and it's pretty awesome. They said there's going to be 30 more minutes of special features in this movie, and they did not disappoint. There is so much good stuff, good content in this thing, I feel like this should have been the movie that was released in the movie theater. I say that because, okay, spoiler. So you guys got, I'll say 3 seconds to bounce on out of here or skip to the next section. But I'm going to be spoiling it in 3, 2, 1. So, Batman vs Superman in the movie, we find out that we didn't find out in the actual theatrical version how Lex Luthor set up everything. We find out that Lex Luthor knows the identities of Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent from the very beginning. That's why he was able to set up the desert scene, because he knew Superman was going to be coming. That's why he was able to write those checks in the newspaper thing saying, "You let your family die" to Bruce Wayne, knowing that he's Batman. And he orchestrated this thing from the very beginning. He just doesn't like Superman. He thinks that he's too powerful. He wants to be the most powerful guy, I guess, in Metropolis or in the world. And he sees this alien as a big threat, is what it comes down to. So his plan is to have Batman kill Superman, and on the off chance Batman doesn't kill Superman, or Superman somehow comes through and breaks his moral code, he has Doomsday as a backup. So we find, let's go back to the beginning. We find out in the desert scene when he's in Africa and everything, he set the whole thing up. We found out that the cameraman is actually Jimmy Olsen. So we find that out because he introduces himself to Lois Lane, you know, and that was then the theatrical version. Again. Then they go to the guy, and we find out that he's with the CIA. Jimmy Olsen's a CIA operative. He's not really a photographer. That we didn't know. Also, in the Ultimate Edition, not in the theatrical version. Then we go, as the movie progresses, we found out there was a team that go and save him. There was another team that was going to blow him up. Lex Luthor hired these guys to kind of infiltrate. I mean, there's a lot of things that was hinted to in the theatrical version, but wasn't spelled out in this version. And also, when the lady goes to court, she talks to the Senator Finch, I think her name was, about how, you know, after how that guy that Superman killed or whatever, I'm not sure if he killed him or not, they didn't explain that either, they just kind of took him away. But the guy that they took away, they had control over their government over there. And since Superman did that, then put the people at risk, and the government started killing people's families and the villagers and everything. And then, you know, we see that in the theatrical version, but we don't find out in the Ultimate Edition that Lex Luthor paid her and threatened her family. Her mom and dad is alive and well over in that country, and she actually doesn't even live there. You know what I mean? So they talk about how he gave her a script, they paid her, and threatened the family. So Lex orchestrated this whole thing to tarnish Superman's reputation in the eyes of the people, make him doubt himself, and to actually make him seem like he did all these worse atrocities, all these bad things. So it was like a double whammy, and you wouldn't even have known that if you hadn't watched the Ultimate Edition. Also, we found out that, you know, Lex Luthor, shoot man, he did so much stuff in this movie. It's out of control. I mean, when Batman stole the kryptonite, he let him do it. He orchestrated everything. It's even the guy with the wheelchair. When Superman went into the courtroom, and, you know, he was saying, you know, I didn't see the bomb because I chose not to see it. I was distracted by, you know, being in there, the crimes, blah blah blah. We find out in the Ultimate Edition, the chair was lined with lead, so Superman couldn't use his vision to see the bomb. Again, making him doubt himself. The whole Martha scene that was in the movie that people hated, in the Ultimate Edition, he had flashbacks. You actually felt what they were trying to convey so much better. And everything that I've been trying to say about the Martha scene, how, you know, it wasn't just him saying, "Oh, how do you know that name?" and then, you know, having a change of heart. It was him actually realizing, oh, Superman's a human being. He has a mother and father, just like I do. His mom's name is Martha. All that came across in these flashbacks, and it's kind of like montage. This flashback montage of him growing up, his mother's grave, all that stuff. It was beautiful, and it made so much more sense, and it was so much more powerful. Now, the Ultimate Edition being as good as it was, I cannot for the life of me understand why they did not have that as the cut that went into the movie. We've had long movies like Lord of the Rings, we've had King Kong. There has been 3-hour plus movies before. So I don't understand what WB's decision making was on not adding this stuff in the movie, that would have made it seem, that would have explained so much. You know, in the theatrical version, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. But there was some guesswork, you know? It was like, oh, I know why this happens, duh, you know? But to be actually have it explained to you and spelled out on screen, it's awesome. To be able to see that and not only know it, but to actually see it play out and see how it affects the characters, it just brings so much to the movie. And it makes the movie a full version of what it should have been. So I implore you, if you thought the theatrical version was okay, go and pick up the Ultimate Edition. If you thought it was great, definitely go pick up the Ultimate Edition, because I thought it was great. I got the Ultimate Edition for 20 bucks on Vudu, and it's freaking awesome, worth every single penny. And if you don't like it at all, find some, go and rent it. I know that they do renting specials on Vudu. Go and rent the Ultimate Edition, watch it, see what you think. I guarantee you'll buy it. So that's my 2 cents on it. What do you guys think? Have you seen the ultimate version of Batman vs Superman? If you have, what do you think about it? I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that's been talking about it, a lot of people that have been expressing their excitement over it, but I want to know what you guys think. You guys are the most important to me, so comment below and let me know, or talk to me on Twitter. Let me know what you think, guys.
Let's talk video games!
Now, in video games, I have a very special piece of news. Now, typically speaking, I do not comment on rumors. I don't like to talk about rumors because it's just not enough to delve into. It's just kind of, he said that this is going to happen, or she said that this is going to happen. But this was just something that was too good to be true. Kombat Pack 3 looks like it's going to happen. Ed Boon has been tweeting about this and talking about this and hinting towards this in his little troll-like way that he loves to do. And he's been talking about Kombat Pack 3. Now, a lot of people have been speculating and taking apart his tweets. A lot of people like Maximilian Dude. There's a bunch of other people online that I can't really think of right now that have been kind of analyzing and breaking down a few of his tweets, which I never do because Boon tweets are just too cryptic for me. But he has been talking about this thing, and he's been giving surveys on different characters and talking about how he's going to announce this on EVO. Not directly, indirectly. Seems like at EVO, he will be announcing Kombat Pack 3, and at EVO, he's going to be announcing that it's going to be coming for PC. Now, this is the interesting part. The fact that it's going to be coming for PC lets me know that their Kombat Pack 2 is going to be coming. So it's going to be like maybe a definitive Ultimate Edition, final edition of it, and they're going to do it for PC. Now, if you guys don't know, there's been a lot of issues with WB and the PC ports. High Voltage has been screwing up almost all the PC ports that WB has put out there. I mean, from Batman Arkham to a lot of the netcode and everything with Mortal Kombat X. So they just been screwed up big time, and WB wisely fired them. So they are no longer doing PC ports for any of the games that WB is producing, but they have hired on a new team. For the likes of me, I cannot remember the name of the new team, but they have a really good reputation. So the fact that they fired the old team, and then the DLC Pack 2 came out, PC users were upset. I was upset as well, but they didn't have anybody to do their ports because they fired High Voltage. Now they have this new company coming, and they've announced Kombat Pack 3, and Boon has been hinting towards a possible PC release. Again, people could just be taking his trollness too seriously or reading too much into it. We don't know yet until EVO happens. By the way, EVO is going to be on ESPN. I talked all about it on the Atomic Cast, so go check that out. But this is interesting. Now, I know they sold a lot of copies, more copies of Mortal Kombat X than any other fighting game on PC. I think it was maybe 500,000 they sold, which is a big deal because fighting is pretty much niche or starting to grow on PC, but not as big as, you know, MMOs and other traditional PC games. So this is a big deal. Now, if they do this, all will be forgotten. I can imagine that all the love and everything from Mortal Kombat will come back. There'll be a lot more competitive play. I mean, they perfected the netcode on console, so this is going to be pretty amazing. The only thing that I'm worried about is there was a lot of questions about whether Injustice 2 is going to be coming for PC. And he said, right now, we've only announced Xbox One, and PS4, which has me a little bit worried because if they have this new company that's doing all these ports, why wouldn't they just announce that it's going to be coming for PC? Now, there could be a lot of different contractual agreements, and they're not quite sure if this company is going to work out, so they're going to test them with Kombat Pack 3, if that is even going to happen at all. So, we have a lot of waiting to do. We have a lot of, well, I mean, a lot of hearsay, but it's a lot of things up in the air, it seems like. So, hopefully it does come for PC, because I definitely like playing my games more on PC because, of course, I have everything in one box. I mean, there's only one place, or one console, if you will, that you can get Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X, and then, you know, the next Mortal Kombat. You know, it's on your PC, on your hard drive. So, of course, I don't like the whole, every time I get a new console, I gotta ban the whole library deal. And Xbox is trying to remedy that with the Windows 10 platform, and they're doing a great job with it, but right now, PC is the thing to go if you want all your games on one console, so I'll rather play it on there. Point taken. I want to see what happens. I'm really, really excited for EVO. I've never been more excited for an EVO before. The fact that it's going to be on ESPN, the fact that it's going to be, it has more attendees than any other EVO in the history of Evolution Tournament. Ed Boon's going to be announcing some things. This is going to be an epic EVO, and I cannot wait for it. What do you guys think? Do you think the Kombat Pack 3 is going to be out for PC? What do you think about them firing high voltage? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing as far as the future of PC ports in general? And what do you like to play your fighting games? I mean, I like my PC. Xbox is my second best. Where do you like to play your fighting games? Comment below and let me know.
Let's get random!
Let's get random. We're going to be talking about the Power Rangers movie. Power Rangers. Now, this was my thing back in the day. When Power Rangers first came out, it was awesome. It came out in the early, I want to say early 90s. It feels like the early 90s, but it definitely came out in the 90s. It was a big deal at the time. It is still a big deal today. They've had so many iterations and versions of Power Rangers. It's not even funny. The Green Ranger is an MMA fighter in real life, and he's breaking people's necks and backs, and he's pretty awesome. And now they're kind of revisiting and rebooting the Power Rangers. Now, my first thought when I found out about the Power Ranger movie was, this shouldn't happen. You have a classic. The original movie was amazing. There's no need to reboot. But after about 50 million Power Rangers, and I actually sat down and thought about it, this is a good idea. Reboot the Power Rangers, make it new, make it fresh. It's not one of those things that was done so well that it can't be touched like other movies or other TV shows from back in the day. And I can go on and name a bunch, but you probably can name just as much as I can. But this is not one of those things that's untouchable. So I am kind of glad they're doing it. The way it looks good, the way it looks amazing. I'm still not sold on Elizabeth Banks being Rita Repulsa, but this is a new Power Ranger, so she might be great at Rita Repulsa. We don't know. I mean, we'll see what direction they go into. I've been covering this since the news broke, when it was just rumor, and now it's facts, and now they've been shooting, and Bryan Cranston is Zordon, and that's awesome. Not because he's just a bald guy, but just he's a great actor. So to see him play somebody as Zordon is, I always thought Zordon was a little goofy, you know, like a head floating in a lava lamp almost. But he has a really good backstory. So I'm interested to see if they're going to talk more about Zordon. And there's also a fan film covering the origins of the power coins and talking about Zordon and everything. I'm going to put that in the description below because I'm a big fan of indie films, love Rainfall films, everything that they seem to do. A lot of the indie stuff that I see on YouTube, like the Question movie that I also talked about, Random Girl, a long time ago. And talking about this new Zordon. It looks awesome. So go and check it out. Like I said, I'm posting the movie, the link to the movie in the description. It's on YouTube. It's done by an independent team, and they did a great job, in my opinion. So this movie is going to be coming out pretty soon. I believe next year it's going to be coming out. It looks like it's shaping up to be great. We don't know much about the plot or the story or the summary. We just know the actors and actresses who are playing it. We know what the Power Rangers look like. We know who's playing Zordon. We know quite a bit about this movie for not actually seeing the movie or seeing any trailers. I can't wait for a trailer to actually come out so we can check that out. So it's going to be interesting. It should be interesting, right? And hopefully they don't screw it up as bad as, I gotta say it, I mean, as bad as what looks like Ghostbusters being screwed up. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're female, with just a trailer and the campiness of it. It looks like an SNL skit, and that's not what we want to see. I'm sure that Power Rangers is not going to be this. I feel like they have so much creative freedom to do their own thing and be their own thing, because there's been so many different other Power Rangers. Somebody could literally hop into that franchise, get in the driver's seat, and do something amazing with Power Rangers. So I am interested to see it. I can't wait to see the first trailer. Hopefully that comes out pretty soon. What do you guys think about Power Rangers? What is your fondest memory of Power Rangers? What do you think about the original Power Rangers movie? And what do you think about this Power Ranger movie? More importantly, let me know, as always, in the description. I want to know what you guys think. You guys have my opinion. I think it's going to be fantastic. I am chomping at the bit to see a trailer. I want to see a trailer. Hopefully that drops soon. And like I said, what do you guys think?
Thanks for watching.
Thank you all for joining me on this awesome Kombat AllStar show. Hit that subscribe button and, of course, comment. I love doing these things with you guys. As you well know, it's always a blast for me to come in here and just do my thing and speak my mind and talk to you guys. And you guys are freaking amazing. You guys got any suggestions for new topics? I am all for it. But yes, it has been a fun time. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Kombat AllStar show. And as always, my peeps, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. It's all posted in the description below. And until next time, folks,